The benefits of critical thinking. If I have to explain that, we're probably already in trouble. But we're going to do it anyway. Upon review, that's what this channel is really all about. Every episode, every short, just me trying to spark some thoughts. Debate it. Tell me why you hate my ideas. Because honestly, it's not what we think that matters most. It's how we think. Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." He also reminded us, convictions are more dangerous enemies of truth than lies. Descartes said, "I think, therefore I am," but even he couldn't tell if he was dreaming or awake. His only evidence of reality, his capacity to reason. Hinduism goes further, calls this reality Maya, illusion. The world, a dream of the divine, playfully unfolding as a Leela, a cosmic play, the eternal dance. So, if we're inside God's dream, how can we tell we're real? There's a Taoist story, I believe, about Zheng Zhi. Essentially, he has a dream where he's a butterfly and he doesn't remember being a man. And then all of a sudden, one moment he wakes up and he is a man. And the question he asks himself is if he was a man dreaming he was a butterfly, or now a butterfly dreaming he's a man. That's where critical thinking really just begins, in total confusion and not knowing anything. In fact, in accepting the fact that it might be impossible to know anything. Doubt, disorientation. It's a mental freefall, and it's what Robert Anton Wilson called chapel perilous, a psychological liminal space where nothing feels true, but everything might be. It's where all real thinking begins. Some argue nothing is knowable, but if we start from first principles, we can take small steps towards something usable. Not truth with a capital T, but something solid enough to act on. We use critical thinking to build that floor, to walk forward, to orient ourselves in the madness. And yeah, it gets confused with judging, but judgment isn't evil. It's necessary. Judge who you let into your life. Judge your habits. If I know I'm being a drunk turd, I stop. I reorient. I go lift heavy things. Critical thinking is how we ask, why do I feel like this? Where did this idea come from? What happens if I keep doing this bullshit? Take sleep, for example. 80% of Americans would feel better with more of it, and almost none of us fix it. They're very simple things: go for a walk, take in the sun, etc., exercise. All of those would also probably help us with our overall malaise and depression. Why don't we do it? Because we're drowning in content and starving for wisdom. We wait for Oprah to give us the TLDR. We want Deepak Chopra to calm our nerves. Thinking is, however, a skill. Reading is the gym, and books your first sparring partners. Once you've read enough, you start thinking about thinking. You realize other people exist and suffer and sin and shine just like you. You feel connected to a sentence written by someone long dead, and maybe you forgive them, and maybe you forgive yourself. That's the path of true self-mastery. Miyamoto Musashi wrote in The Book of Five Rings, "To know 10,000 things, know one well. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power." That's the work. Is it fun? No. I'm not selling joy. Not here. Not in the afterlife. First, it'll drive you insane. Then it'll make you angry. Then, if you're lucky, it might break your heart. And what's on the other side? Just peace. If you stop chasing joy, you might actually find some. I'll leave you with the Zen saying, when the mind is still, the world surrenders. So, yeah, critical thinking. It won't make you rich or sexy, spiritually enlightened, not overnight anyway. It might stop you from being full of shit. It's probably a good place to start. If you liked any of this content at all, I actually have a bunch of other long form content that's very similar to talking about thinking, why we think, what we think, how we think, why people don't think. Check some of those out. Link them in the description below. And drop a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. Why am I wrong? Tell me what you think the real benefit of thinking is. Otherwise, sweet dreams.